What if I told you your cat might be suffering right now and you wouldn't even notice? Most cat owners believe that if their cat isn't limping or crying out, everything is fine, but that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, your cat could be in pain right next to you, and you'd have no idea because in the wild, showing pain is a death sentence. Any sign of weakness makes them a target. So, over thousands of years, cats have evolved into something terrifyingly good. Hiding it. They don't cry, they don't complain, they suffer in complete silence. And by the time they finally show you something is wrong, it's often already serious. But no matter how good they are at hiding it, they're not perfect. Because sometimes there are tiny cracks in the mask, small, silent signals that most people miss completely. The way they sit, the way they move, even a subtle change in their face, things so small. You'd never notice unless you knew exactly what to look for. And today, we're going to expose them. The 7 subtle signs of feline pain that most cat owners ignore every single day. From a hidden expression to behaviors that seem completely normal, but aren't. Because these signs are the difference between a cat that is truly okay and a cat that is silently suffering right in front of you. So, if you care about your cat, you need to pay attention. Every second matters. Let's get into it before it's too late. The first sign is something called the hunched or crouched posture. Many owners mistake this for a simple, concentrated nap. But there is a world of difference. When a cat is relaxed and healthy, their body is loose. They sprawl out, expose their belly, or curl into a soft ball. However, but a cat in pain often sits in a tensed position. Their back is slightly arched. Their head is tucked lower than their shoulders, and their nose might even be pointing toward the floor. Their paws are often tucked tightly under them, but not in a relaxed loaf way. They look like they are bracing for something. If you notice your cat staying in this rigid position for long periods, especially if they seem locked or reluctant to move when you call them, they are likely protecting their abdomen or dealing with significant joint discomfort. This is their way of guarding their body from further pain. Did you know that scientists have developed something called the Feline Grimace Scale? It's a way to measure pain just by looking at a cat's face. While a happy cat has a round, soft face, a cat in pain shows tension in very specific areas. First, look at the eyes. Are they squinting or partially closed when the cat is awake? This is often a sign of systemic pain or eye discomfort. Next, look at the ears. A cat in pain often has ears that are pulled slightly apart and tilted outward rather than being upright and forward-facing. Finally, check the whiskers and muzzle. In a healthy cat, whiskers are loose and hang to the side. In a pained cat, the whiskers may be bunched together or pushed forward, and the muzzle may appear more tense or drawn. It's a subtle facial expression, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. Take a moment to really look at your cat's face today. Cats are notoriously clean animals. They spend a large portion of their waking hours grooming themselves. So when their grooming habits suddenly change, it's a major red flag. There are 2 ways this manifests. First, there is under-grooming. If your cat's fur starts to look matted, greasy, or if you notice dandruff on their lower back, it might be because it's too painful for them to reach those spots. This is very common in older cats with arthritis. Bending the spine to clean the tail or back becomes an agonizing task. On the other hand, there is over-grooming. If you notice your cat licking one specific area obsessively, perhaps their belly or a specific joint until the fur is gone, and the skin is raw, they aren't just being extra clean, they are often trying to soothe a deep-seated pain in that exact location. It's their version of rubbing a sore muscle. Has your social butterfly suddenly turned into a ghost? While some cats naturally love a quiet corner, a sudden shift in where your cat spends their time is significant. When cats feel vulnerable due to pain, their instinct tells them to find a safe zone where nothing can sneak up on them. If your cat is suddenly spending all day under the bed, in the back of a dark closet, or in a room they never used to visit, they are likely trying to hide their vulnerability. They may even become annoyed or fearful if you try to pull them out. This withdrawing is a psychological response to physical distress. They are retreating into themselves because they don't have the energy or the physical comfort to interact with the world around them. Remember, a cat that hides is a cat that is worried. This is perhaps the most frustrating sign for owners, and sadly, the one that leads many cats to be surrendered to shelters. But before you get angry at your cat for missing the litter box, you must ask why. For many cats, especially seniors, the litter box is actually a source of pain. If the box has high sides, a cat with hip or joint pain might find it incredibly difficult to climb in and out. They might associate the box with the pain of the climb and start going on the carpet right next to it. Additionally, conditions like urinary tract infections or kidney stones make the act of urinating extremely painful. The cat begins to associate the litter box itself with that sharp pain, so they try somewhere else, hoping it won't hurt as much. It's not a behavioral accident. It's a plea for help. While some cats are naturally chatty, a cat in pain will often change their vocabulary. This doesn't always mean loud meowing. In fact, many pained cats become strangely silent. However, if they do vocalize, listen for a low-pitched groan, a sudden hiss, when you touch a certain area, or a repetitive, mournful meow. That sounds different from their usual feed me chirp. Interestingly, some cats will actually purr when they are in extreme pain. We usually associate purring with happiness, but purring also releases endorphins that help cats self-soothe and heal. If your cat is purring while showing other signs like heavy breathing or a tense posture, don't assume they are happy. They might be trying to comfort themselves through a crisis. Finally, we have the most well-known but often ignored sign: a change in eating and energy levels. A cat in pain often burns a lot of internal energy just trying to cope with the discomfort. This leaves very little energy for play. If your cat suddenly stops chasing their favorite laser or feather toy, it's not just because they're getting older. It's often because it hurts to jump and run. Furthermore, pain, especially dental pain, can make the thought of eating unappealing. If your cat walks up to the bowl, looks at the food, and then walks away. They are hungry, but the act of eating might be too painful to endure. Always monitor their water intake as well. Dehydration can quickly turn a manageable pain into a life-threatening situation. Your cat loves you in their own quiet way, and they rely on you to be their guardian. Because they cannot speak, they communicate through these tiny shifts in their daily rhythm. If you've noticed one or more of these signs in your feline friend, please don't wait. A quick trip to the vet can provide them with the relief they deserve and potentially give you many more years of companionship. Thank you for watching and for being such a dedicated cat parent. If you found this guide helpful, please give us a thumbs up and share it with other cat lovers. Let's make sure no cat has to suffer in silence. Don't forget to subscribe to Cat Feels for more deep dives into the emotions and health of our favorite felines. We'll see you in the next video.